Okay guys, so today I'm going to be talking about something that gave me a great deal of trouble building this most recent forge, and some of the mistakes I made and how I fixed them, so that maybe if you guys try to do something similar you can avoid my mistakes and get it working properly a little bit faster. So I'll show you some of the components. This thing here is a regulator. It's a 10 psi regulator. It's just got an on-offs, probably a ball valve, I guess. And you can change a little bit. You've got some control there over how much psi you've got. For just a single torch, 10 psi will work fine. Since my forge was working with two burners, the setup I have on my forge, this is not it, the setup I have on my forge, it has a 0 to 30 psi regulator. Since the gas is going to two different burners, so I need twice as much gas. But this is the regulator. It does not come with all this stuff here. This stuff I added on. This is just a braided stainless steel hose, which is nice to have in case you for some reason accidentally touch a piece of red hot metal to the hose, so it won't melt through. It'll just hit it and you'll be able to recover. If it were a plastic hose, it might melt through and start a gas fire, and that wouldn't be good. But here is the nozzle I have. The mistake I made first was that I had plenty of gas. I had more than enough gas, but there was not enough pressure to draw in the air that I needed. Because with propane you need fuel and you need air with oxygen in it to mix together and burn. And with the setup I had plenty of fuel, but I didn't have enough air, so it wasn't burning as hot as it could have. Basically the issue was I had my tube and I was just passing fairly low pressure gas, but lots of it, through here, and it wasn't drawing in enough air, because I don't know exactly what the physics are behind it, but whenever you've got pressurized gas coming in through that nozzle, it draws air with it. So you don't need forced air for this kind of burner. I don't think this is quite a Venturi burner, but I think it might work on the same principle. Don't quote me on any of this. I'm not sure of exactly the physicists who came up with the terms or any of that stuff. I just know kind of how it works and a little bit of why. But you need pressurized gas. So before I had just this this thing pumping the gas through, which didn't get any kind of pressure out of it. Now I've channeled it down to a 35 thousandths diameter MIG welding tip that I put into here, and that creates a good deal of pressure. And the rest of this is just two compressed air, they're nozzle things used for compressed air that I just used to get down from this diameter to this. I had to drill this one out a little bit, and this thread here doesn't go all the way in, so I just gooped. I put a lot of goop on it and just waited for it to dry. So basically it doesn't compress the air, but it's more pressurized that way, and it draws the air better. So then I took a piece of 3/4 inch black iron pipe, drilled 8 half-inch holes in it, and a couple of 1/4 inch holes just because, and I put it in here. That's the base of your burner assembly, or my burner assembly rather. Yours might be different. But basically I've got the nozzle right here at the front of the foremost hole. I don't know if that's quite optimum. I tried moving it back and forth a little bit, but it didn't seem to change it all that much. So this is just what I'm going with. So as the pressurized gas shoots out of that little hole, it draws air with it, and the air and fuel mix in this part, and then they combust right here. But another thing that I was getting wrong was that I didn't have a flare. I was just getting kind of lazy flames out here, and that's no good. What I needed was one of these, which is just a very crude flare. It's basically just a 1" to 3/4" reducing coupling, which screws on the end of here, and all the combustion seems to take place inside here. In fact, this gets so hot, if you leave it running for a while, that this will get red. But you need the flare for it to work properly, or at least that's my experience. I've tried it without flares, and it doesn't work nearly as well. So this is basically my burner assembly. This one is very similar to the ones I have on my forge. This one is specifically made for tempering blades that are too long to fit in my kitchen oven. So I'll have to learn how to control the heat and do it by eye and by the color of the steel as it changes with the oxidation colors. But yeah, that's the basis of my propane burner assembly, and it works great. I tested it a couple minutes ago, and I'm just gonna, yeah, I hope this has potentially informed you of some of the mistakes that can be made, and hopefully hopefully explained a little bit of why those mistakes don't work. And I hope it was helpful. Have a great day.